This is a continuation of mind map and why I selected Google Apps for Work. Today we have David F. Leopold with us, and I would be discussing with him, and he would be sharing his experiences and so on. So, David, a couple of words?
Yeah, a couple of words. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for you making your choice to use Google Apps for Work for your business, because your understanding of it and the value that it brings to your business, you were able to very clearly share that message with me. And you said, David, you've got to do this for your business. You have to use Google Apps. And I didn't jump on it right away. It took a couple weeks for me to get into it, but you have shown me how to use it, how to make things work, and I will have to say it was one of the best business decisions, online business decisions that I've ever made, because it has created for me efficiencies to my business first and foremost. But also, and this is an important point, positioning within Google Plus specifically is extremely important for me. I have made the business decision that that's what I want to do with my business, and I don't use other platforms. They're out there. I do a little bit, but my primary platform is Google Plus. So me using all the different apps, excuse me, and everything working together, there's no other way for me to do it. So thank you.
Yeah, in the mind map that I shared, I talked about branding, and I talked about I said I have been using the free version of Gmail since the very beginning, when it was a invite-only platform. I mean, I had a friend who said there is this new mail platform. Would you like invited to start using it? I said yes. And so that's how I started using Gmail. Then I became so used to the platform. It became so useful. And it's not just the email. It gives lots of other things like calendar, events, and so on, which, of course, Google has been adding lots of things to that. But when I started my own business, I thought it would be very useful if I can use the same interface, same features, same facilities, but if they had my branding to it, rather than saying at gmail.com. Of course, since I started using Gmail at the very early stages, my email ID on Gmail, the free Gmail, is good enough. It doesn't have, because I have seen people, some of the people who have strange kind of numbers, John3456 at gmail.com, or but I don't have any of such strange things. But I still felt branding is very important. What are your thoughts on that?
I was going to say, let's talk about that for a moment. For me, it's extremely important because for a couple reasons. I made the choice early on in my Gmail career and my business career. Well, not in my career, but in the last 5 years, I made the decision that I was going to create Small Biz David as a brand. That was part of what I was going to do. I was going to have the brand Dreaming with Entrepreneurs, or early on it was David's Barter, but Dreaming with Entrepreneurs was going to be the brand, and Small Biz David was going to be the brand advocate, if you will.
Mm.
So somewhere along the line, this was very strange. You and I have talked about this before, and I think it's something very important to note. I had a presence in Google search of my name, David Leopold. You could Google search my name, and either on the first or second page, I was there. And that kind of bothered me a little bit because I was doing a lot of stuff, and I thought I should have a higher page ranking than that. And so I went on a mission. There's another David Leopold who does a wonderful job of marketing. I've actually met him. He's an attorney, and he's an expert in his field, and he's done a wonderful job of marketing. So I said, my mission is I want to be on top of that guy, and if I could do it, all this stuff works. So I was promoting David Leopold. I was promoting Small Biz David. Along comes Google, and a couple years ago, they assigned unique names, unique URLs, if you will. And for some crazy reason, and I can't explain it, they assigned to me, without me asking for it, David F. Small Biz David Leopold. So now I've got it all in one package, and it's worked very, very well for me. So it was a natural for me to do everything that I could to build that brand.
Mm.
And like you said, now my branding is Dreaming with Entrepreneurs, with, once again, Small Biz David being the brand advocate.
Mm. And then I was in the mind map. Then I mentioned I do have multiple devices. I use I have an Android phone. I also have an Android touch screen device. Of course, one of the early releases of the devices. So nothing brand new, nothing with there, but I do use multiple devices. And one of the benefits of using Google Apps for work is I can use any of these devices from anywhere. So that has been one of the major advantages for me. How about you?
Not as much for me, Vivek, because, well, first of all, I have the dumbest phone I could buy. So that part of the mobile device is not important to me at all. But I do have a Chromebook, and this was essential to the big picture. For folks that don't know, Chromebook is a Google product. So it was very natural for me to have a Chromebook. And when I leave my desk, which isn't all that often, but when I do leave my desk and I can go into a wireless environment, I can do anything I can do mobily, anything that I can do from my desk. And so once again, that is a major efficiency to my business to be able to do that. So it was I'm a Google kind of guy, and I try to embrace everything I possibly can, because why? Very simply, it works for me. And that's why I do it.
But one of the points I mention is actually opportunity computing. That is becoming quite big these days, mainly because people, at least here in the UK, and people who are living close to London, we are or work close to London. We often end up traveling in a train or bus, coach, as they're called here, traveling to and fro. So there are lots of times when we have lots of time, as in traveling in a train. The train journey probably takes maybe half an hour, and we have lots of, in one sense, we have that hour for ourselves. And during that time, let's say we get some ideas. I get some ideas, some creative ideas. It's easier for me to jot down those things on one of my mobile devices. Then I can even respond to emails while I am actually traveling on the train. Of course, if the train goes underground, in London we have the underground system, which is some of it is actually underground, some of it is actually over the ground. So it's a mix of you get the cell phone signal sometimes, and suddenly it goes away. So it's the internet connectivity is not that stable when we are in a train like that. But even then, even with that environment, I'm still able to communicate. I'm still able to do all things that I can do at my desk. And whatever I do on my mobile device is in sync with what I do on my desk. For example, if I share a document while I'm sitting in the train, traveling somewhere, the document is available on the desktop, or if someone comments. So all that happens without me concerning myself about how I'm accessing the internet. Do I have a stable, high bandwidth internet connectivity or not? So that is one of the major aspects for me. How about you?
Well, I have two comments. First of all, public transportation where I live is not very good. I mean, we have buses, coaches, as you call them in England, in the UK, but and I don't use it. I would. Well, I don't leave too much. I don't travel too much out of my home, but I'm surprised at something I haven't heard you say yet, and this is extremely important. Theoretically, you could be on your train, and you say, "Wow, I want to put that on my website." While you're on your train, you could pretty easily and efficiently make a change to your website. Am I correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that's big. That is really big. And let's talk about in your mind map. Do you have which you haven't shown yet? Do you have websites up there?
Yes, website is there. Communication is actually the next point there, which is communication, collaboration, sharing, instant messaging, and websites. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, you and I know because we have recently developed two websites for me and my business, and Google Apps for Work ties it all together. And the let's talk about, since we brought it up, one of the tremendous benefits, and you didn't play on this really big initially, but we now see the value of it. I have two websites that are hosted on Google servers. and it's fantastic for me to have all of that, everything in one place, so I can go into that environment and make things work for me. But the big factor, a major factor, is the fact that there is a cost involved with Google Apps for Work. No question about it. However, that cost is a grand total of $50 per year, which is $4.19 per month. I think the number is.
And yeah.
And I was going to say, I have hidden within that $4.19 per month, I have 2 websites hosted on very secure, state-of-the-art, as good as it gets, Google servers.
Yeah, I was going to add. Yeah, let me add it. One point. The other point actually is it is scalable. Let's say, for example, your community is dreaming. Let's dream for a few seconds here. Let's say your organization grows, it becomes bigger. You want more people. You are going to, let's employ, for example, 10 people.
I'm choking. I'm choking. Don't choke me. I like being a solopreneur.
When you do grow into a bigger business, the technology that you are using presently scales up to any size. That's the point. You don't need to change anything. You just go into your admin console and say, okay, I have a new employee here. This is his or her name, and I want to create a new person. That's it. Everything is done. So you of course need to pay $50 for that person's account per year, but the same person, that person now has all the IT wherewithal for use. That's the whole point. And this is not limited to 1 or 2 people. I mean, as I said, dreaming. Let's say you grow to you have such a huge success, and you become huge, and you have to employ hundreds of people, say 10 in UK, 10 in Europe, 20 in India, 30 in Australia. Yes, you can do all of that. You can employ people all over the world. They all can use the same environment, and it's all scalable. That's the whole point.
Wow. Let me address that for a moment. Not so much with me and employees within my company, but more importantly for me, one of the websites, as you know, because you're developing it for me, one of the websites is the host of my video book. And that is exactly how we are sharing the book. People will have access to the book, the video book, by us giving them access to the website and us giving them access to a file within the website, a folder within the website.
So that is essentially a I have heard a slightly different term used to something similar. They call it paywall. There is a wall. Certain parts of their websites have a wall in front of it. So unless you pay a subscription fee, or you become a member, or you pay a retainer fee or some such payment. Only that it allows you access to certain other things, additional features, additional resources behind the pay wall. So that is available to us. We have implemented it, David, for our video book.
I gotta share with you just something that I just learned about an hour ago, Vivek. I was our friend Zara sent me a note. That's how I know that she was still awake. And it said that she got the document that we were sharing with her, and for some reason I forgot to put view only. And I put can edit. I forgot to take it off the can edit and put view only, so they can't make changes to whatever they're getting. And she made a comment. She said, "I don't think Vivek wants me to have access to editing." And I said, Vivek doesn't even know about this. I'm the one that does that function, and I forgot to change the to view only. So I'm sure she got a big smile on that one.
Yeah, Zara can edit, because I know she is a responsible, strategically important. So she plays a very strategically critical role in everything she does. So
well, I I forgot to mention that. I said, and you know what, Zara, if there's anybody in the world that I would give can edit accessibility to, it would be you. I forgot to tell her that. So Zara, if you're listening, the bandwidth is not as strong as it should be. So why don't we end this one? We'll pick it up again in a day or two or whatever, as we have some new information to bring to the folks. We'll come back and share that application with them.
Yeah, there are three other things that we would be covering. One is security, which you all we have already mentioned briefly. The other is data backup. Data backup happens automatically, so that we don't lose our work, irrespective of what happens to. I mean, in a traditional sense, people have server rooms in their offices, and people have. I have been to companies where they have locked down their server room, and if you want to get into the server room, you have to present a pass, which is given to you just 10-15 minutes before you need it. So all of that is not required at all, because it is taken care of. Then the other one is space. You get enough space, 30 GB of space, for your regular office kind of things. So those are the other things that we will be covering. But yes, as you said, bandwidth is causing concern for us right now. But yeah, so as I always say, integrate, simplify life. And we shall close this hangout on air, and we shall assemble later on. Thank you.